Hi everyone, Salena here, and in today's little video I want to talk about something that a lot of people experience, which is guilt around enjoying their lives now because they feel like they should be investing in the future. Have you ever felt guilty about spending on something that maybe you even thought was a little extravagant because you feel this little niggle that you should be actually putting money into your investing or your super, or putting money aside for more important endeavors? Well, I just want to share with you that I have felt that way many times myself. But what I've learned to reconcile is the importance of balancing the enjoyment of your life in the now, as well as investing for the future. Now, one of the things that people can assume is that because you have a high income, that what goes hand in hand with that is that you must have a high net wealth and be an excellent investor too. And certainly for those of you who understand what I'm talking about, those two things don't necessarily go hand in hand. In fact, what my experience is with business owners in particular is that when they have a business which is developing great cash flow, in fact, a lot of them have fear that the gravy train is going to end. So in fact, they actually opt on being far more conservative than maybe they even need to. So the real question is, how do you put some spanks or boundaries on the way that you spend now so that you definitely enjoy your life, but also make sure that you put aside enough for investing in the future? So I've got 3 tips for you today. Now, there are so many books out there that talk about various strategies around money management, and to some degree, they're all very, very good. What I would argue, though, is that it is definitely worthwhile having savings accounts put aside for big ticket items. So if you know that you want a $20,000, $30,000 holiday every year, if you know that you're going to need a car in 2 years' time, put funds aside specifically for that purpose, so that come the point in time where those funds are required, you've actually got them sitting there and you don't actually have to dip into other capital reserves. What this also does is, by separating your reserved or earmarked funds from your day-to-day spending, it just automatically stops you from spending or spreading your spend into money that should otherwise be put aside for other purposes. The second tip that I have for you is that it's really important to kind of filter or distinguish between all the different types of discretionary spending that you have. It's very easy when we live in a plastic world to just tap and keep on spending way beyond what we should be. And this is where, sometimes I feel there's a real danger around use of credit cards, because it's hard to actually get that transparency. Now, even if you have a high income, what I would seriously advocate is that you test for a brief period of time the idea of capping the amount of discretionary spending that you have week to week. What that will do is automatically give you feedback on whether or not you're living within your means. Sometimes that's the feedback that some people need in order to make some necessary changes and compromises around the way that they spend their money. The third and final tip that I have for you is create rewards for hitting savings targets. Even those people I know who I regard as my mentors, who are epic savers and investors and all the rest, they still reward themselves when they hit certain targets. And, really, when it comes down to this idea of living in the now or investing in the future, it's about finding the balance between the two so that you have the highest possible sleep at night factor. If you're someone whose income has risen gradually over the last decade, say, and you've continued to swell your spending to the degree that you feel like you haven't really got much to show for it, that could be the signal that you need to kind of put everything under the microscope and see whether there's any opportunities to create more surplus so that you can start to accelerate the funds that go towards your investing. I hope you found this video useful. Please, as always, comment below, share. Would love to get any ideas you have for future blogs, and look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.